try again. Reach out to a friend, never second guess yourself. Yeah, you know there's some ups and could be some downs. Whichever way it goes, let's flip this shit around. Stick to the plan and stay on that road. Stand up tall and slow your roll like a grand. Hey, thanks for tuning into It Is What It Is, Noise Included. This is Liv, and welcome to episode 9. So today's topic is a fun one. It's going to be, would you rather? I mean, I've been told I'm the world's leading expert on places to visit and to avoid, and I will actually tell you why you should avoid it. So let's kick off this would you rather game with a travel theme. Get ready for some tough choices and questionable destinations, and then we can get personal and super honest. All right, so the first one is the Great East End Showdown, Hamptons versus Montauk. So I've been to both many times, and let me tell you, they're both so beautiful, they could make a grown man cry into his ridiculously expensive rosé. I've also had a couple of up-close and personal meetings with sharks at both spots. And by up close, I mean I can still taste the salt water and hear my own screaming. So, you know, I had a real bonding experience with the local wildlife. This is true, I'm telling you. You can catch a sunset at either place. That makes you literally question all your life choices. And if you're out east and you don't eat at Claudio's, you've basically failed at life. It's an out east institution, and it's a non-negotiable part of the experience. I remember cruising out there on our Harleys with a bunch of bikers, a real club, not some wannabes, okay? Those were the good old days before my knees started making noises like a bag of rocks. If I have to choose a favorite, I'm going with Montauk. Okay, here's a side note. It is the true end of Long Island, all right? It's less touristy, which means I can enjoy my shark-infested waters without having to elbow a dozen people out of the way. It's the kind of place where you can relax, soak up the sun, and contemplate your mortality without a crowd. So where do you stand on this very important life and death issue? All right, let's take another one. The Great South Florida Showdown, High Roller Heaven versus Rooftop Bliss. Would you rather get all dolled up and head out to the breakers in West Palm Beach with your significant other, or hit up a breezy rooftop spot like Rosewater in Delray? Personally, I've got a hot take on the breakers. It's a gorgeous hotel. I mean, seriously. But it's so pricey. You'll never be able to take out, you'll have to take out a second mortgage. So just to get one drink, okay? And don't get me started on the people there. It's like they're so rich, they're completely forgotten how to dress. They transcended from fashion and embraced a sort of alien-like simplicity. They smile and walk right past you as if they've been taken over by some sort of polite polo-wearing extraterrestrial. And the lip filler, I mean, it's a whole different level of shiny. It's like every woman there is trying to smuggle a couple of hot dogs in their mouth. Listen, I'm not against lip filler. Now, a place like Rosewater, that's my kind of scene. You get the same beautiful ocean breeze, but with a crowd that's a bit more grounded. You see different age groups, you see different styles, and people who are actually there to have a good time. The music is bumping, the drinks are flowing, and you don't have to worry about accidentally bumping into a pod of extraterrestrial millionaires. So, what do you think? So where are you headed? The land of lip fillers and polo shirts, or the rooftop where the party's actually at? All right. The Great South Florida Boat Showdown, a tale of two islands. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm a true boater. I love being out there. That's my thing, okay? So let's compare. Would you rather drop an anchor at Pina Island or Boca Island? You know, Boca Raton. Okay. So let's break down the charms of each, shall we? Boca Island is, well, it's a place.
The water's got a lovely algae-infused, vaguely yellow hue, and the soundtrack is a truly unique blend of reggaeton and country music that's guaranteed to give you a sensory issue. Now, I have sensory issues, so, I mean, my ADHD gets crazy out there. It's like a party where no one can agree on the DJ, so they're all just blasting their own tunes at full volume. The scenery, well, wall-to-wall mansions. You spend the whole time in a no-wake zone, which is fitting because the excitement level is also a no-wake status. It's a great place to go if you want to be bored while staring at other people's money. I mean, that's all up to you. Now, Peanut Island, so as you know, I'm a little biased here. Now, Peanut Island is a whole different beast. First off, the water is an actual color, which is a major upgrade. It's just north of downtown West Palm Beach, making it the perfect escape from the mainland's various shenanigans. And the history, here's the gossip, guys. The legend goes that John F. Kennedy used to sneak Marilyn Monroe into a bunker under the island for some private time. Private time, in quotes. You fill it in, okay? I mean, what's not to love about an island with a secret sex bunker? But wait, there's more. You'll see the most impressive yachts you'll ever laid eyes on, and the waterway is wide open, so you can actually get your boat up to a respectable speed without a dozen no-wake signs yelling at you. The music is mostly country, which is a definite plus for me. At least the noise is in sync and not a total assault on your eardrums, okay? Now, the scenery. You'll see a lot of boats flying their favorite flags. Some might find them polarizing, but hey, it's an electric crowd, and you know, you never know who you're going to meet. So if you're looking for vibrant water, rich history, and a good dose of American patriotism, then Peanut Island is your spot. So where are you headed? You going to the algae-filled monotony of Boca or the legendary party island of Peanut? I don't know. Whatever you decide. I know where I want to go. All right, so the Great Florida Coast to Coast Beach Off. All right, this one, man, this is a good one because this is hard. It's a little hard, this one. Okay, would you rather hit up Key West on the East Coast or Captiva Island, very close to Sanibel Island, which is also very amazing on the West Coast? Okay, so I'm going to be honest. This is a tough one. It's like asking me to choose between my two favorite children. If one of them was full of tourists and the other was a seashell collecting paradise, which is, I'm telling you, that's a perfect example of comparing my two daughters, okay? I'm a sunset snob, thanks to a lifetime of being spoiled by those glorious Long Island sunsets. Living in West Palm Beach, I'm constantly chasing that perfect, I'm gonna make you cry moment. Luckily, I'm just a short drive away from a sunset that'll make you forget all about your mundane existence. Okay, so both Key West and Captiva are super bohemian with bikes and day drinking everywhere. It's basically Fire Island, although you'll never see a car in Fire Island. Okay, Fire Island, New York, where I used to live in Long Island. You can only get there by ferry or by foot or by bike if you walk in from Robert Moses Beach, right? So Fire Island will always be my first love, though, and I'm going to say though, because it is one of those places that I used to spend all of my summers with my family there. So, that's given. I can still picture my baby girls walking down those long sidewalks to the beach. Back to the matter at hand. Okay, I'm going with Sanibel Island, Captiva's slightly bigger seashell-loving sister. The sand is so soft and white, and it feels like you're walking on powdered sugar. Key West, on the other hand, has more coral than sand, and the few beaches it has feels like quicksand. You're literally walking into the ocean, and you're like falling into quicksand. Plus, the architecture is a weird mashup of New Orleans and a modern art museum. It's all just a bit too much for me, that Key West side. Okay, so Key West is also too touristy and crowded. I'd rather stay in like Isla Morada and just pop into Key West for a couple of hours. That's all you really need, okay? A quick drive-by to say you've been there and then you're out. When we go there, we always go on the Harley. It's such a beautiful ride on the motorcycle. So, are you going to the Quicksand Beach tourist trap of Key West? Or are you looking for some soft sand and seashells? Hey, it's up to you, okay? You pick your poison. The Great Italian Face-Off, Canals versus Renaissance Art. Italy, the land of love, incredible food, and apparently a choice that's harder than picking between pasta and pizza. You're asking me to choose between Venice and Florence, two cities that are beautiful enough to make you forget your own name. Okay, so I just want you to know Venice to me is Venezia. I don't know why. I think the bag said Venezia, but it got stuck to Venezia. So let's start with Venezia. The city on water. It's a place so stunning. I fell in love with it the second I arrived. It's got everything. St. Mark's Square, the Rialto Bridge, and so many little back streets you could get lost for days. And you probably wouldn't even mind. I even caught a performance at the Teatro de la Fenice that was so good. It's permanently filed under best memories ever. The only problem, I wasn't there with my husband. Now, I've been back like 3 times and I still can't shake the image of us on the gondola being all romantic and stuff. So yeah, that's officially on my bucket list. Okay, then there's Florence, the heart of the Renaissance. It's a city filled with so much art. You'll feel like you're walking through a museum. You've got Michelangelo Davids, and you got a bunch of tiny little places. You got cracked off penises everywhere. I did say cracked off penises everywhere. So funny story. Here it is, guys. My daughter and I went on a 2-month tour around Europe for her quinceañera. And let's just say we had a history of making a group of 20 wait for us. So when we arrived in Florence, when our tour guide told us to be back by 5 p.m., we naturally rented bikes, went shopping for leather goods, and ate our weight in amazing food. We looked at the clock, and it was 6. The bus was gone. We sat on the bench, laughing nervously, until we realized our tour guide had waited for us. But he had moved the bus. We never made that mistake again, which is a testament to our ability to learn from our mistakes eventually. So while Florence gave me a hilarious story and a fear of being left behind by a tour bus, Venezia stole my heart. It's beautiful, romantic, and doesn't require a sprint through the city to get back to a bus. All right. The Great Colombian Vacation Showdown. So chaos versus chaos, okay, with a little side of paradise. So you want to know whether I'd rather hit up Santa Marta or Cartagena. All right, honey, this one's easy, and my vote is so clear it should come with a Chiva bus tour. A Chiva bus tour, yes. Let's start with Santa Marta. I'm not gonna lie, the place is a hot mess. The hotels smell like a damp basement. The streets look like they've been through a hurricane, and I'm pretty sure I saw more puddles than actual pavement. And the food, I'm pretty sure I could have made a better meal with a toaster and a bag of chips. The only thing it has going for it is the Tayrona National Park, which is so beautiful it makes you forget you just spent an entire day dodging potholes and questionable street meat. So, my advice, go to Tayrona and pretend Santa Marta doesn't exist. Now, Cartagena. Cartagena's a whole different story. It's got an old city that's so beautiful. You'll feel like you step back in time. The streets are work of art with unique doorknobs and giant wooden doors that are just begging for a photo op, which of course I did tons. And the food, don't even get me started on the food. You can't take a short boat ride. You can take a short, if you want to, or you can actually drive up the coast, but you can take a boat ride to Las Islas de Rosario, where they'll literally fish a lobster out of the ocean and grill it for you. It's so fresh, you probably feel very guilty about it. And the nightlife, here's my thing. And the nightlife is wild. You absolutely have to do a Chiva tour, which is a bus with a DJ at an open bar. You'll dance, drink, and make pit stops at all the city's landmarks. I went with my 4 American couple besties last year, and they had so much fun. They almost forgot how to speak English. All right. So where do I stand? Well, both cities have their charms. I'm going to have to go with Cartagena. It's got a little bit of everything. History, good food, and a nightlife that'll make you forget you ever considered going to Santa Marta. All right, so now let's stray away a little bit here, okay? Let's get serious. I'm about to pick your brain, and we're going to get personal. We're getting a hazmat suit and diving deep. This isn't a casual would you rather. This is a psychological deep dive. Let's get weird. Consider this your official warning. All right. The Great Friend Hangout Showdown. Weekend trip versus one night bender. All right. So you're asking me to choose between a weekend trip and a single night of drinks and dancing? Honey, that's not a simple question. It's a risk assessment. First, I need to know the cast of characters. Who are we talking about here? Because if there's even a whiff of drama, I'm opting for the one night out plan. Why? Because you can't exactly Irish goodbye your way out of a weekend trip. You're trapped. You're a hostage. And you'll spend the entire time pretending you don't hear the passive aggressive comments while internally you're plotting your escape. So, if it's a calm crew, I'm down for a weekend getaway. But if there's a chance things will get messy, I'll take the short distance trip. That way, when the drama inevitably unfolds, I can gracefully exit stage left and be in my bed watching Netflix before anyone even realizes I'm gone. So how about you? Are you gluten for punishment, or do you prefer a quick getaway with a clean exit strategy? All right. So the great night out versus night in showdown. All right. Who would you rather get all dressed up for a fancy, expensive night out, or stay home and cuddle up on the couch? Listen, my heart says cuddle, cuddle, cuddle. But my closet says, girl, we have been cooped up for too long. Put on those heels that make your feet cry and let's go. I'm the kind of person who gets a text about a night out and immediately hears my dresses screaming my name from my closet. Wear me! Wear me! We're not getting any younger! They literally chant this. So I'm a FOMO queen. The thought of missing out on a fancy night at a place like the Breakers is enough to get me out of my sweatpants. I figure I can always come home to my love and cuddle up after a night of pretending I'm rich enough to be there. It's the best of both worlds. A little bit of high-class fantasy followed by the sweet, sweet reality of my couch, which I really love. All right. So, the Great Weekend Warrior Debate. Here's my favorite. Okay. Bike versus boat. This is a tough one. I'll give you that. It's the ultimate Florida paradox. Do I want to look like a total hottie on the Harley? Or do I want to get day drunk on the boat and pretend I'm friends with the sharks? Okay. So on a hot Saturday afternoon, I'm choosing the boat, hands down. I'll be out there, drink in hand, listening to some tunes and pretending I'm in a music video. I'm telling you, thong on and all. I'll choose the boat on a hot afternoon because there's nothing quite like the feeling of being on the water, surrounded by your friends, and not worrying about anything. But on the rare, magical day when Florida drops to a chilly 65 degrees, again, rare, you can find me on the Harley riding down the coast with a leather jacket and a scowl on my face. It's the perfect opportunity to pretend I'm in a biker club again. Even though I'm probably just going to get a kale smoothie at the end of my ride. All right. Okay, so the great outdoor debate. Horseback riding versus picnic. All right, this one's easy for me too. You're asking me to choose between a beautiful horseback ride and a picnic in the park. This is not a hard choice at all. It's a no-brainer for me. I'm all for the horseback ride. Sure, you're on a giant animal that could decide to bolt at any moment, but you'll look like a total badass. You'll be one with nature, a modern-day cowgirl riding into the sunset. Plus, you'll get a great workout and have a fantastic story to tell your friends. I mean, a picnic, on the other hand, is a whole different beast. It sounds so romantic in theory, but in reality, it's a disaster waiting to happen. You're sitting on a blanket that's probably covered in thorns, your back starts to ache after 5 minutes, and the ants have a better view of your food than you do. And don't even get me started on the wind. One wind gust, and your entire meal is now a sand-covered mess. So while some people might choose the picnic, I'm choosing the horseback riding. It's a much better way to spend an afternoon, and you won't have to worry about your food being stolen by a colony of ants. All right. So, single life versus married life. Okay, so this one's a toughie, I'll tell you. I have so many single friends and my own daughters that are single. And I mean, listen, my girls are hot. They're not ugly. I'm telling you, they're beautiful. They just are too much like me, which means that we ask for a lot. We want the door opened. We want, holding hands. We want it all. And that's going to be really hard to find in this day and age. So you're asking me to choose between being single in this day and age or being married. All right. As a woman who's been married for over 30 years, this isn't even a debate. It's a clear-cut case of, thank God, I'm off the market. All right. So I've watched my single friends and my daughters navigate the modern dating scene. Oh my God. And it sounds less like a romantic journey and more like a psychological thriller. You've got ghosting, where someone disappears faster than a free appetizer at a party. Then there's a love bombing where they shower you with affection only to disappear a week later, leaving you with a serious case of emotional whiplash. And don't even get me started on the labels. Are you dating? Are you exclusive? Are you non-exclusive? I mean, are we seeing each other or just casual? Is that like casual sex? I mean, I don't know. To which I reply always, casual STDs, you mean? No. I'm all for living your best life, but the dating world these days sounds like a full-time job with no benefits and a high risk of emotional damage. So, while I'm sure there are some perks to being single, I'll happily stay in my lane. I've got my husband, my brats, and a lifetime supply of someone who's contractually obligated to love me. I'm so happy I'm married. I've considered having a thank God I'm married party. All right, so would you rather go shopping with your husband or a friend? Now, if you've got a husband that you can go shopping with, he's gay. All right, just want you to know, he's just not telling you. All right, so this one's easy. I'd rather go shopping with my friend. I'm not going shopping with the shopping police, also known as my husband. He has 3 facial expressions. Ready for this? That's too expensive. Do you really need that? Of course. And the dreaded, are you done yet? It's not a shopping trip. It's a timed interrogation. All right, let's talk about rich husbands versus right husbands. All right, and this is in my friend circle. We talk about this all the time. Some of my friends have those rich husbands and they can live with that and they're happy, and I think it's great. I know they're miserable, but they're just not telling us because, they're supposed to be rich, they're supposed to be happy. Money isn't happiness. Let me say that again. Money isn't happiness. All right. This is a classic. Would you rather, but for a whole different tax bracket. So do you want a man who's loaded with cash but low on affection, or a man who is a hard worker, a good father, and loves you more than a billionaire loves his money? All right, I have friends on both sides. Now, I've got girlfriends who are deliriously happy living in a mansion with a husband who's a professional traveler. They get to spend their days with their kids, go on lavish vacations, and never have to worry about money. And you know what? That's okay for them. They're living the dream, and their bank account is a testament to that. But then there's me. I've been married for over 30 years, and I've been with a man who's a partner in every sense of the word. We've built an empire together, raised a family, and somehow managed not to kill each other in the process. We're a team. We root for each other, we respect each other, and we still manage to make each other laugh. I'm not gonna lie, our life hasn't been without any kinks. We've had our fair share of fights and arguments and disagreements, but at the end of the day, we're still a team. I'm okay with that, and I'm okay with a man who's a hard worker, a great father, and a partner in crime. I don't need a private jet to feel special. I just need a man who loves me. So, while I'm sure a billionaire's life has its perks, I'm going to stick with my man. It's a good ride. All right. So here it is. Love versus loot. This is a true testament, like a true test of a person's priorities. Would you rather find true love today or win the lottery next year? Let's say that again. Would you rather find true love today or win the lottery next year? All right, so I'm in a tough spot because I've already found true love, so I'm officially screwed. But if I hadn't, I'd be picking the lottery winnings in a heartbeat. Because let's be real, if a guy really loves you, he can wait a year. And when he does, you'll be able to enjoy your lottery winnings together, sipping champagne on a private jet to Fiji. So while some might say love is all you need, I'm here to tell you that $1 million can buy you a whole lot of champagne. And in my opinion, that's a whole lot of love right there. Listen, I don't know. All right, the great celebrity crush conundrum. Here we go. This is the ultimate would you rather for anyone in a committed relationship. Do you take another 10 years with the love of your life? Or do you trade it all for one magical night with your celebrity crush? Do you take another 10 years with the love of your life? Or do you trade it all for one magical night with your celebrity crush? All right. So I'm with you. I'm all about my partner. We built a life together, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. But when you throw someone like Jason Momoa into the mix, things get a little complicated. I mean, have you seen that man? He's walking, talking. He's a walking, talking work of art. Okay, I'm getting all excited. Wow, okay. So, while my brain says 10 more years with my love, a small part of my soul says Jason Momoa is waiting. It's a tough choice, but I'm going with my partner. I'm just hoping he understands that if Jason Momoa ever knocks on my door, all bets are off. All right, so maid versus chef. This is a real life fantasy, isn't it? Would you rather have a personal maid or a personal chef? All right, so I'm all in for the personal chef. I mean, I'm already the full-time maid in my home, so I can't justify paying someone to do what I already do. Side note, and let's be honest, probably complain about it because no one cleans like I clean. But a personal chef and a sexy one to add, so I can have a little eye candy too. I mean, these guys find these maids that are all looking good. Why can't I find a really hottie chef? Now we're talking. I'm already working out, so a personal chef would take my fitness to the next level. That's actually what I would tell my husband. I just really want to get fit. I have to use a belt just to keep my jeans on from falling off. So, plus, I'd be eating the kind of food that you only see on TV, and I'd never have to worry about what's to eat. Ever again. So while a maid would be nice, I'm choosing the chef. It's the only logical choice for a person who's already a maid and my own personal trainer. All right. So would you rather the pool or a beach? So this one's not even a choice, and I'm not going to pretend it is. I'd rather be on a beach, not just because I love the feeling of sand between my toes and the sound of crashing waves, but because a pool is a chaotic, watery hellscape. On the beach, I'm at one with nature. It's just me, the seagulls fighting over a discarded fry, and the rhythmic sound of the ocean. I mean, it's a pure zen. Plus, I live in a small community with my own private stretch of sand on the Intercoastal. There are only 4 of us here that live here all year round, so it's usually just me and my thoughts. But the pool? The pool is basically a human petri dish. It's literally like a poolside alarm on my chair. And the second I sit down, it blares. She's here, everyone. Converge. Suddenly, my quiet community turns into a bustling water park. You got the guy cannonballing right next to me. You got the toddler in the shallow wearing some suspicious looking diaper. And then there's the constant lurking question, who peed in the pool? Can you imagine? There's no way I'm going in there. Let's be honest. Everyone's peed in the pool at some point. It's an unspoken rule, a silent public urination pact we all pretend not to be part of. And then someone inevitably tries to strike up a conversation with me while I'm just trying to relax. Like, people, my face shows. Leave me alone. I have huge black glasses, meaning, please stay away. Like, you're not desperately trying to escape reality for 5 minutes. So yeah, give me the beach, give me the sand, the salty air, and the blissful antisocial silence. At least with the ocean, the pee is diluted by the entire planet. All right. So, would you rather watch nothing but Hallmark Christmas movies or nothing but horror movies? All right, this is a trick question. It's not about which I'd rather watch. It's about which type of mental and emotional torment I'd prefer. All right. So on the one hand, you have the Hallmark Christmas movie marathon, which is basically a slow, syrupy descent into madness. After the 10th movie, you start to believe that all small towns are run by single bakery owners named Holly. Every career-driven woman secretly wants to move to a town called Snowflake Valley, and that the only thing standing between you and true love is a suspiciously well-funded Christmas festival. You don't feel sad. You feel diabetic from the sheer amount of emotional sugar. Your brain's turned into a fuzzy snow globe-shaped mush, and you'll find yourself subconsciously decorating your apartment with pine cones in July. Then there's the horror movie binge. I'd rather not sleep for a week than feel sad, so I pick the horror movies. The sleep deprivation is a bonus because it means I'm too tired to get caught up in the romantic subplots of Hallmark movies. Yes, every time I walk down the stairs, I'll think it's a Final Destination moment. And I'll probably jump every time the toaster pops up, but at least I'll be in the control of my own emotions. I'd rather be a little jumpy than turn into a walking Hallmark movie, spewing platitudes about the magic of the holidays. In end, I'll take the terror over the tinsel. My heart can handle the fear, but it can't handle the sheer, unrelenting cheer. All right. So, would you rather give up cursing forever or give up ice cream for 12 years? Would you rather give up cursing forever or give up ice cream for 12 years? Well, I hope that everyone that's been listening to me understands that I am definitely going to go with cursing. Okay. This is an easy one because I'm giving up ice cream. No contest. First of all, 12 years is a long time, and I'm not going to pretend it'll be easy. I'll miss that sweet, creamy goodness. I'll have to sit by while my friends eat and pretend I'm not weeping on the inside. I'll have to order my pie with no a la mode. It's going to be a real sacrifice. However, I'm simply not mature enough to give up cursing forever. It's a key part of my vocabulary. Cursing isn't just a habit. It's a personality trait, a coping mechanism, and a way to express a wide range of emotions with minimal effort. How am I supposed to react when I stub my toe? Or, let's say, fiddle, faddle? No, that just makes it worse. What about when a driver cuts me off in traffic? I'm not supposed to say, blah, blah, blah. No. Why? I do declare. I feel more pain from not cursing than I would from a stub toe. Cursing is the emotional equivalent of a pressure valve, and without it, I probably explode into a cloud of frustration and repressed rage. So while I'll be sad for a while, okay, I'll trade 12 years of ice cream for a lifetime of saying exactly what I mean. I'll just have to find a new way to soothe my feelings, like eating an entire cake. All right, so this is a personal one, okay? Would you rather die before or after your partner? So, for me, this is easy, and I'm not afraid to say it. I would hands down want to die before my husband, but I know he would suffer more than I would. So it would have to be that he goes first. I mean, after being married for 30 years, I don't know how to do a single thing by myself. I've outsourced all my life skills to him. My husband and I have actually had this conversation, and it went something like this. Husband, I have to die first. I couldn't handle the loneliness. I fall into such a deep depression, I'd probably just die from not knowing how to use the microwave. Me. Exactly. You'd be fine. You find a new wife within a week who would cook, clean, and make sure you put on matching socks. Husband, but you'd be so sad. Me. Oh, oh yeah, honey. I'd be sad for about a week. After that, I would take life by the ovaries, go on a world tour, and live my best life. I would turn the guest room into a walk-in closet and hire a chef to cook for me. Honestly, the last time I tried to do laundry, I had a mental breakdown. I don't know if I'd be able to do taxes or pay bills or even open up jars of olives without him. I mean, I just swipe, and know that it will not decline. I think he is my life support. I'd be lost without my husband, but he'd just be lost without the remote control. So yeah, he has to die first. Plus, I've already made him a solemn promise. In our wonderfully possessive Spanish culture, there is a sacred threat that a wife makes to her widower. If you ever find another woman, I'll come back and pull your legs every single night. So if I go first, not only do I get to avoid a life of incompetence, but I also get to be delightfully spooky, leg pulling polka dice. It's a win-win situation. All right, so would you rather have people spread a terrible lie about you or have people spread terrible but true tales about you? This one isn't even a question. It's absolutely rather have people spread terrible but true tales about me. Listen, people, I've always been that type of person that people love to envy. Why? Because they see me happy. That's why. So nothing can really shock me anymore. In fact, I actually get a little thrill when I hear things about myself. It makes me feel like I've made it. I love walking into a room with my head held high when there's a whole crowd of haters there. The idea that their gossip is based on facts just makes it so much better. I mean, let's be real. If someone's going to waste their precious time talking about me, the least they can do is get their facts straight. A lie is just lazy. A lie says, I hate you, but I'm not creative enough to make up a convincing story about why. But a true story, a true story says, I hate you so much. I've been actively monitoring your life, and I found something so juicy and scandalous that I simply have to share it with everyone. It's really a form of flattery to me. So yes, tell everyone about the time I might or might not have. I kissed a girl and I liked it. Taste of her cherry chapstick. Okay, if you want to talk about that, let's do that. It's all good because I'll just be over here sipping my drink and providing them with more material for their next meeting of I hate that bitch, but secretly admire her style club. All right, so would you rather be the funniest person in a room or the smartest person in a room? You know, this is a tricky one, and I've given it some serious thought. Dun, 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 dun. I would absolutely rather be the funniest person in the room. Wow, that's a shocker. First, let's look at the alternative. Being the smartest person in the room sounds exhausting. You'd have to listen to everyone's half-baked ideas and probably correct their grammar, all while trying not to look smug. You'd be expected to solve all the problems, explain quantum physics, and be a human encyclopedia. You'd basically become the room's unpaid IT support, but for life itself. And what do you get out of it? A room full of people who either resent you or just want to use your brain? Now, being the funniest person is a much better deal. You get all the attention without any of the responsibility. People laugh at your jokes. They want to sit next to you, and no one ever asks you to explain the geopolitical ramifications of a trade agreement. You're just there to lighten the mood. So, plus, I have a theory. I think the funniest person in the room is secretly the smartest person anyway. They're the ones who can find the humor in any situation, make a quick-witted observation, and read the room well enough to land a joke perfectly. They're not just funny. They're socially intelligent. Me. The smartest person might know the capital of every country, but the funniest person knows how to get a whole room to stop thinking about what a terrible day they've had. So I'll take the laughs. The knowledge will just be in me very secretly. All right, guys, that was so much fun. Thanks for listening, and hopefully you've had as much fun as I've had talking about this topic. This is Liv sending you lots and lots of smooches and also lots of blessings. Take care, everyone.
Try and try again. Reach out to a friend. Never second guess yourself. Yeah, you know there's some ups and could be some downs. Whichever way it goes, let's flip this shit around. Stick to the plan and stay